Many. Welcome to this webinar. I am so excited about what we're going to be talking about today. I know you've been getting all the great emails, really talking about the BeeKonnected blueprint and just this amazing once in a lifetime opportunity that I am so excited to hear about, so excited for you to hear about, and so excited to introduce you to our host for this webinar this evening. And she is she's a co-founder and chief strategy officer for BeeKonnected. And I admire her so much. Please welcome Ms. Cassie Parks. Oh, and before I go, you are in webinar mode. We just talked about that. So it's perfectly normal for you to not be able to turn on your camera, turn on your mic, but you will be able to get some reactions. If you want to chat, go for it. If you have any questions, feel free to chat. Send me a personal message. And with having said that, sending it over to Cassie.
Amazing. Thank you, Colleen, for that wonderful introduction. I am as excited as Colleen is today to share with you all this awesomeness that is about being a visionary and seeing all the possibilities about what BeeKonnected and how the private label can help you do amazing things. So I am going to get started. Colleen, will you just mute some of the sounds, which I forgot to do? All right. All right, so this is our webinar is titled BeeKonnected Blueprint 10K to 10 million for Visionary Leaders. And I will tell you, as I was creating this presentation, that 10 million even became bigger. So we will continue this conversation throughout. But thank you for joining us. All right. All right. So have you ever wondered, like, what if you could have joined Facebook before Facebook launched, invested in Zoom in 2020, right before we all know what happened in 2020, right? Those opportunities that come. Because they're important. They're being first adopters, right? And first adopters or first investors are always the people who benefit the most. And that is where visionaries come in. Visionaries see what's coming. They see what's around the bend before everybody else sees it, before everybody else jumps on that trend or that thing or that marketing way or, that investment. So we are going to jump into this 1 second. All right, amazing. So here's really the old way that's happening right now, right? People are chasing algorithms, they're losing their reach. And people who build a following, like it's not easy to build a following. And those that are building a following, they don't have any ownership of that. So they're spending time, they're spending money to create good content, to network, however, they're building a following. And I don't just mean on social media. I mean in business. I mean as a speaker. I mean just in general as a networking company or a networking group, right? You anyone who does that, you spend a lot of time in that. But if you're reliant on social media, you have zero ownership of that, right? And you're reliant on algorithms, you lose reach. The other thing is that audiences are scattered across all platforms because you're trying to be heard. You're trying to compete in all of these different ways. People are trying to compete and have a million different ways to use the same content, right? So they're content repurposing machines, which means there's constantly selling, there's no recurring structure, no recurring revenue structure, and no scalability, right? It's hard to scale that way because you just get more and more diluted the more you do things. So BeeKonnected is an all-in-one ecosystem, which is the next generation of all of that. Let's talk really quick before we jump into this visionary part of this, because I see some new faces on here. I just really want to go over the core features of the BeeKonnected private label. But first, let's just touch on BeeKonnected 2.0. So, BeeKonnected, the original, was the OG, was created. It's the mastermind, it's the brilliance of our CEO, Miss Tanya Hoffman, who really saw, I mean, her whole life, her whole entrepreneurial life, she's been creating these, they're not workarounds, they're ways to streamline people's businesses so that they are simpler, so that those selling online, coaches, speakers, trainers, all of that, their life is a lot simpler. You know, she was telling me how in WordPress she was able to create a funnel even really before funnels were a thing. And she was teaching people funnel systems and how to do that for their business way years and years and years ago, before WordPress had any type of feature that allowed you to do that. But she figured out the way to make it work because she's always looking for the way to make the system out of the chaos that is sometimes being an entrepreneur, because she understands that with a system comes sales, with a system comes success. And so BeeKonnected, the OG, BeeKonnected, the original, was created to do just that, right? Make entrepreneurs' lives, online coaches, online marketers, speakers, all of that. It was created to make their lives simpler so that they could create more sales, right? And from that, we realized we need to up level our team because we had this great concept, but the system didn't work quite the way we wanted it to. So we are now in the process of building BeeKonnected 2.0. In case you haven't been here since 2020 when the company started, I just wanted to give you a little history of how we got here and why we are BeeKonnected 2.0, because everything that makes BeeKonnected awesome will still be here, but it's going to be enhanced. It's going to work even better. And so I want to go through those core features, because part of what's even better is that people are able to private label this. So, and before I jump in a little bit to the features, let's talk about what is a private label. Private label means you get to put your brand on our tech and people get to buy it from you. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through. But just a little history and wanting you to know about BeeKonnected 2.0, where we've come from and where we're going. So here are the core features of the BeeKonnected private label, which will also be the core features of BeeKonnected 2.0. So if you've been here forever, rest assured we're going to stay here and be amazing for you as well. So BeeKonnected 2.0 and our private label opportunity really provides an all-in-one done for you solution. So we have partnered with Digna Solutions to be our new chief tech officer and build our new system. We have, we're working with a team that is fully in the US because they understand US business, they understand the way US business operates. And so we've really brought that team home and up leveled that team. This team builds things for the Department of Defense, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, just to name a few. They build solutions that work and drive business forward all over the country, right? And for the government itself. So what they are helping us as we take the BeeKonnected vision and we build the 2.0, they are really building an even better success engine, because it's going to have a done for you solution component, which means that it's going to be integrated eventually with AI that is going to help you go out and create sales. It's going to make your emails better because it's going to go scour the internet and find the information about the people that are coming to your courses or to your webinars or signing up for your email list. And it's going to get information about them so that you can more personalize the solution, the emails, the marketing that you're sending out to them. And it's going to learn your business as you do this, so that it can go find more of those people. It can find that through line in all of your clients and customers, and it can help you find more of them on the internet and reach out to them and bring them back into the ecosystem. It's going to be awesome. Something just amazing. So if you have a course you create, I was talking to one of the developers Actually, he's an architect for the system the other day, and just what is going to be able to be available in our learning management system with our courses. You'll be able to see, this is part of the done for you, but I haven't got there yet. Just super excited to tell you all of this. The done for you part is really, there will be AI triggers that say, okay, this person hasn't logged in a week. Like, you want to send them an email, follows up, pre-sells your next course to them when they get close to the end. All of these amazing things that we set up in automations and other systems, but the system is even going to be more intuitive. It's going to learn your business. And that's the done for you part, because we want this solution to help you drive success forward. We want the system to do it as much as it can for you, instead of you having to work for another online platform, right? So all of what I just talked about is part of our AI-driven CRM, the success engine that learns your business, goes out there and helps you get more business. It will learn the patterns. Maybe people always drop off at assignment 3 in your course. It can let you know that. It can let you know that time, because it's going to learn your business. It's going to help you close that gap. And that's just one example of this very powerful success engine, which you want to think of like the brain that learns your business. It's also going to have a streamlined scheduling with calendar integration. We already have that, but in the private label, you'll be able to offer this under that, because scheduling is easier, right? With calendar integration, not going back and forth, and the smart components of this calendar are going to be really amazing. It'll also give you the branded virtual meeting room for engagement, just like you have. And that is getting enhanced as well. So I think a lot of you are going to be super happy when you see 2.0, because we saw some mock-ups of this today. And, we're just leaning into how simple can we make this system, yet how much can we help it make you more successful. It's also going to have groups and memberships, similar to what we knew now, but they're going to be so much more robust. We talked in the beginning of this presentation about this old way of people having content everywhere, multiple different platforms, multiple different kinds of content. What I'm excited about in these groups is that these people that are out there, like influencers, people creating content all the time, these people, amazing people, teaching people things, just all different types of people who are creating amazing content in the world and reaching people, will have a space that they can then send people to, where they can come in and binge all their content. That's how we're setting up these groups and these memberships, whether they are free, whether they're more community-based, whether they are more influencer base, where someone can put all of their stuff in one space where people can come and consume it and then buy from you. We also are going to have an amazing, as I was talking about just a few minutes ago, our online courses are going to be amazing. And the learning management system from the people who provide the courses is going to be amazing. So I was drooling over the things that we're going to integrate, and that's just in the first enhancement of our online courses. So it's going to work super simple. It's going to integrate with your CRM, your calendar, and again, learn your business so it knows what clients you're looking for. It can go out and it can help you get those. And it can also tailor your current emails, everything that you're doing, to those people that are in your courses for even more success. So let's talk about this. Why do visionaries private label? And remember, private label, when you're looking at this virtual conference room that you're in right now, you can see very lightly in the gray part of the screen, between the two grays, it says BeeKonnected, right? So imagine a private label that has your own brand on it, that says your own name or your own, it's your own tech stack. You get to take what is we're investing millions in building, and you get to put your name on it and you get to call it your own. Similar to, some shampoos, some dog foods are all made in the same plant as more expensive stuff, but they might get a different label that maybe is the store brand label, but they're made in the same plant, but that store brand gets to call it their own name. So that is private label. Basically, you get to have an amazing tech stack that you do not have to pay millions for, that you can sell as your own, and you can brand it as your own. So why do people want to do that? because they want to create something new. Now, we've talked in previous webinars, and you can always click that button that says watch replays on YouTube. I've talked a lot about the potential to create, if you're a coach with a business course, this is great because then you can sell the tools to the people that you're teaching how to build a business, right? If you're a networker, you can capitalize and you can add these tools as part of your membership to make that more valuable. If you're in a network marketing company, you can help your downline be more successful by also selling them the tools and integrating that into the process. So we've talked a lot about all of those, but this really is for those visionaries, right? So you can watch any of those replays by clicking watch replay if you want to know more about that. But visionaries want to white label because they want to create something new. For example, this is what we're going to focus on today: capitalizing on the success of a vertical social network. So, what is a vertical social network? It is actually, let's dive into this too. The other reason the visionaries want to do a white label or private label with BeeKonnected is because it's a huge additional revenue stream. We position this is the way to make 10K to 10 million. That is truly possible with this additional revenue stream because it's your own tech stack. So using the success engine so let's talk a little bit about just kind of the money, because we're on that section. You can start making really good money, at 10 users, but at 100 users, you're starting to make a huge difference in your recurring revenue, right? So using the success engine of BeeKonnected 2.0, where I talked about using that CRM that goes out and finds your clients and then tailors things to your customers and then finds that through line of who are your customers, what are they asking for, what do they want, how to keep them in the loop. Do you think you could find 100 users? The answer is definitely yes. It's just if you want to go do that and you want to use the system to do that, right? So let's talk about 100 users for private label. We'll focus on the revenue, and then we're going to jump to my favorite part of this, which is that vertical social media. So 100 customers, if you are making $50 a customer, and there is an investment to become a white label, right? You have to pay to get set up and get started. There's a licensing fee. But these numbers are real of what you could make a month off of each of your customers. So if you have 100 customers paying $50 a month, that's $5,000 a month. If you have 100 customers paying $100 a month, $10,000 a month. And you can see how this goes, right? So if you're somebody who thinks, I don't play small, I could get 1,000 customers. You could be making $50,000 to $200,000 a month. And then, of course, with 10,000 customers, you can be making $500,000 to $2 million a month. And remember, you didn't have to go through all the pain of creating this system or making the investment to build it. You just get to put your brand on it. So let's talk about this. Can you start to see the vision? Let me talk about the vision that I see for visionaries right now, in addition to all the other examples that I gave you earlier. I think that this vertical social media is going to become a huge thing. So one example is, people love dogs. They love all animals. They love, you have dog people, you have cat people, you have some that are both. There's like channels. If there's a restaurant we go into and they just play like this animal channel over and over with animal videos, which means that people are already looking to do something like this. They already have that in TV, but there's not an app yet that I know of where you can just go watch dog videos or dog training videos or funny dog videos or just watch dogs. Because sometimes, maybe especially in this time in our life, we don't want to see all that other stuff. We just want to go maybe feel better and watch dogs. So there's a huge, if a visionary wanted to create a dog lovers app where they just got dog influencers to come put all of their content that they're already creating in one space for people to consume. They can create this social media and also this avenue for all of those influencers to sell whatever it is they're selling to make their money to keep creating content, right? They can create a system and a space and a community where people can come together and people can just get amazing dog videos all the time. Of course, there could also be a cat app. There could be one for both, animals in general. I also see like a zoo app because people love watching videos of animals at the zoo, right? Baby hippos, different things like that. Um, People love watching this, and people are getting tired of seeing commercials in the middle of the videos that they want to watch. So we're flipping that on its head, and someone could create a private label and they could have the influencers pay, which gives them all the tools that we covered for running their business and growing their business. And then they invite people to consume that content. And it's really tailored people. It's people who love dogs. So the people, that influencers that would be on this app, they would, everybody who's on the app watching actually wants dog content, which they're not fighting over other content online, right? Like they're not fighting over cooking videos. They're not fighting over the attention of everything else, right? It's a way to put everybody and build an amazing community. So another example of this that I have had recently as I started taking stand-up comedy classes, and I have my first show in a couple weeks, is for comedians. We already know there are radio stations or satellite stations now. There's Comedy Central. There are things already dedicated to just comedy. So a comedy app where people, again, don't have to scroll through everything on Facebook. They could get somebody's, if they find a comedian they like, they can get all of the content that they have anywhere out there, right? They could pay even to see some of their older shows if they put that in the app. All of those things. And then people can come and just get comedy because that's sometimes what people want. And people who like comedy, they like comedy. They want more of it. So these these vertical social medias are going to gain. This is what the visionaries see, and it's already happening, gain traction in the coming years. And this is a way that you could use the BeeKonnected private label. You could build the comedians app. Same with home renovations, right? Who loves watching home renovation videos? But it's annoying if you're watching them on some of the social media sites because they get interrupted with a commercial in the middle and you don't get to see the end. But people love this, right? We have whole channels that are dedicated to home renovation. So again, this would be a great space to create a vertical social media that's all focused on home renovation, where all those influencers can come put all their content, all those consumers can come consume that content. Everybody makes money, especially you, if you're the person who creates this private label app. Now, this is already happening, right? So I was looking up, I realized today that Pepper the app, which is a social cooking app, is already doing this. So I was looking up on stuff like this. It takes everybody, it's just cooking. It's just what people are cooking for dinner, all in one app. People can search recipes, they can do things like that. And this app is already available. And it's expected that this app will be worth $1 billion shortly. You can look it up, Pepper the Cooking app, check it out, because this is a new space. If you've ever heard of Goodreads, this is the same thing. It's a vertical social media, and you can leverage the private label to create this if you desire. This is your opportunity to build a company with a recurring revenue and $1 billion bottom line. So we talked about the $10,000 to the $10 million a month recurring revenue. But what you're also doing here, because you're building that recurring revenue, if you're a visionary who wants to take on one of these vertical social medias, you can be building $1 billion bottom line as referenced by Pepper the app, because you create something that has that recurring revenue stream, that has people coming to it and connecting, and it becomes something that you could sell later on should you choose to. Now, can you see the vision? What app would you want to create? If this has inspired you, you are a visionary, you can start to see it. You can say yes to buying now, and then you just build out your vision and you start building those collaborations with the people who are going to come and they are going to pay you to be on your app, but also get all of those tools, which is amazing because it creates an ecosystem that's just building together, right? If you have an idea, you want some help strategizing that, you can feel free to click that strategize button. And that is my personal calendar. We can have a conversation about this, about what you want to do. I can answer any questions about the private label for you. I'm happy to do that. There is an investment. This is not as much as buying a franchise, but there is a financial commitment because you're building a business, you are building a recurring revenue, and you are getting to take advantage of the tech that we have built and branded under you. And like we just talked about, you even have the opportunity to build that into $1 billion company should you choose to do that. If you know you're ready now, you could just hit purchase the private label and buy now. That is always an option because you want to be one of the first because success matters. Be different. Have this different vision. Be a visionary and see what's possible. We will help you. We will support you if this is what you want to do next. If you have questions, please email those to support@BeeKonnected.com if you want specific pricing. If you have a specific question, it's a one-off, just email support@BeeKonnected.com. Really, my link is for those that are very serious. You've emailed support and you know that you want to do this. You just need a little help strategizing or getting over that little fear hump of taking that next step. Please use my calendar for that. If it's just questions, you can email support@BeeKonnected.com and we will help you there. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I look forward to seeing all of you visionaries on this call and what you are going to create in this world with the help of the BeeKonnected private label. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be in touch soon.